So here in 8.6, we're not really looking at anything new. Honestly, there's not a single thing that's new. Your book likes to put natural logs in their own little section. I've kind of included them as we went, but basically this will be a review of other things that we've done. We're just going to use natural log versus, log base 2 or something. Now, remember, natural log, you do have a natural log button in your calculator, so you can use your calculator. Now, also, some of these, I'm not put on a no calculator part of a test, so don't be, dependent on it. So we're going to go through and we're going to write this as a single logarithm. Another way they could have phrased this is they could have asked you to condense. So I'm going to use the power rule and the product rule and the quotient rule. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the power rule to move my 5 up into the exponent. So I'll have natural log of 3 minus natural log of 3 to the 5th. And then I'm going to go through and I'm going to combine these because of the subtraction right here. I'll combine it with division. So I'll have 3 over 3 to the 5th. And I could go through and simplify that. So I'm going to just subtract there. I'll get negative 4, which means 3 to the 4th in the bottom. 3 to the 4th is 81. Okay, now see what I mean? We've done this before. I did throw in a little bit of review with exponents here, but we've done this before. It's just here we're doing it with natural log versus regular logs. Okay, now I didn't give you instructions here, but we're going to do the same thing. We're going to condense this. We're going to write it as a single logarithm. So I'm going to move my numbers up. So I'll have natural log of A minus natural log of B squared plus natural log of C to the 1/2. And then I'm going to go through and do kind of a combination of product rule and quotient rule. Remembering, if it's subtracted, it goes in the denominator. If it's addition, if it's positive, it goes in the numerator. This one's positive even though it's not technically added to anything because it's first. All right, so if it's positive, it goes in the top. If it's negative, it goes in the bottom. And this is positive, so it'll go in the top. Now this is great, but I think I can do just a tiny bit better because C to the 1/2 power is the same as square root of C. It's like it's a 2 there and a 1 there. So I think it'd probably be a little better to write it that way. Maybe I'll put parentheses around it. Okay, here in this section, we're also going to do a little bit of solving. Now, same thing here. All of the solving will either have e's or natural logs in them. We've done this before. Your book didn't give you any practice that had natural logs in it, but we've done this before. So this is like an e here. So I would change form. So e to the negative 2 equals x. And I can put the e to the negative 2 in my calculator, and I'll go ahead and tell you it's 0.14. So change forms. Same thing here. I have e to the 8th equals 2m plus 3. And then I'll solve for the m. So move the 3 over and divide by the 2. Now, same thing, you could put this in your calculator. I have to round a little bit here, but I have 1,488.98. Okay, now let's go the opposite direction. This time it's got an e in it. So what I'm going to go through and do is take the natural log of both sides. So I'll end up with x plus 1 equals natural log of 30 and subtract the 1. So I'll put natural log of 30 in my calculator and then subtract 1 from it. So 2.40. Now, I don't know if anyone tried to do this, but you do not want to do natural log of 29. This 1 is not inside that natural log. So you make sure you do natural log of 30, get that answer, close the parentheses, somehow make sure you just do natural log of 30, then subtract the 1. Okay, also we did shortcuts. Just a reminder, if they match up, it's 1. If they match up and it's raised to an exponent, you end up with that exponent. And last thing is, remember that you can't have a 0 here. This is going to no solution now. All right, so that is 8.6a. I'm gonna do B next, but just remember you do the same things we've done throughout this chapter, just using natural log and ease versus other values.